She's unavoidable and back against the wall. She gives me feelings that I never felt before. I'm breaking promises, she's breaking every law. She used to look good to me, now I'm finding something irresistible. There's no telling where the money went. Simply irresistible. There's no other way to go. The methods are inscrutable. The proof is irrefutable. She's so completely kissable. Our lives are indivisible. Yeah, yeah. She's a crazy wind dog. She's a powerful force. Your thoughts that conform when there's no other course. She used to look good to me, but now I find her simply irresistible. There's no telling where the money went. Simply irresistible. There's no other way to go. Simply irresistible. There's no telling where the money went. Simply irresistible. There's no other way to go.
Humidity rising, barometer's getting low. According to our sources, the street's the place to go. 'Cause tonight for the first time, just about 10:30. For the first time in history, it's gonna start raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet. can touch us one time and last for a lifetime and never let go until we're gone. Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door. You are here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime and never let go till we're gone. Love was when I loved you one true time. I hold you in my life will always go on and on and on and on. Near, far, wherever you are, you believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and
Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for How My Hamster Died. Please welcome already on stage your host, Amy Thompson.
We are gathered here today to mourn the deaths of those lesser pets. Those pets that take a little more care, but give a little less love. But we still care about them anyway. Those pets you may find in plastic toys like wheels and balls. Those pets that enjoy drinking from bottles throughout their life. Those lesser pets. The rodents, that's what I'm talking about. The ones where if you don't welcome them, you're surprised to see them, but you don't want them to die. And it's sad when they do because we bond with them. They're kind of cute, right? Their tails, they range from freaky to less freaky. Got a squirrel, got a rat. So we're here today just to share some tales of different rodents we've had. I was asked to do this show for inspiration by Milk Surface, who isn't able to be here. With comedy, sometimes it's so hard to write material. But the crazy thing about rodent deaths is the material literally writes itself. He asked himself the question, how do hamsters die? Turns out really terrible ways. They rarely go peacefully in their sleep. So I once had a hamster named Marshmallow. I named him after my spine. I have a marshmallow spine. Not very brave. Marshmallow could not go on a cruise. So when our family went on a cruise, this was back before the recession when families could afford cruises, we couldn't take Marshmallow, so we left him with my Nana. Marshmallow was adventurous, though. He or she, I'm not ever sure what Marshmallow was, got out, and my Nana, she didn't want to panic. Not a fan of rodents, she was. But she was a fan of her family. So for about 3 days, she kind of looked around, hoped that it wouldn't just pop up. On the third day, she was making breakfast in the kitchen. And she thought, right before turning on the garbage disposal, maybe I should check in here. Turns out, Marshmallow was in the garbage disposal. He did not die. She did not die. So that would have been a wonderful story. And some of the other comics up here might have things that don't go as well. This is the second time I've done this show. So with the idea in my head for the first show, I went to go get my hair done, like we sometimes do when we can afford to. And while there, I mentioned the idea to my hairdresser about rodent deaths. And all of a sudden, the weirdest look went over his face. He goes, "That's funny, I just remembered something. In 7th grade, I had to do a science project with rodents." I said, "What did you have to do?" Well, this is just a fascinating story. So he had to go into where there were all these rats. But they weren't just rats. They were rats with the most magnificent furs you have ever seen. Speckled rats, spotted rats, patched rats, rats of all shades. He got to pick out the 2 he thought was the most beautiful. He got to raise them. And they had babies. And then he had to gas them and all their babies, skin them, and post their things on a science board to show how parents passed on their traits. I was like, "No wonder you blocked this out. Please cut my bangs right. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for triggering. I was just trying to tell you about my show. I was hoping you would come out to it. What a mistake." But you might ask yourself, think about any rodent you may have had. There's several horrifying things that may happen to them, and tonight we want to honor them. It may be a sunny day, but in our hearts it's dark for these rodents. Sunnier, hopefully they have found happier, sunnier wheels to run on. So we're gonna have our comics come up, and hopefully if you guys stay, there's another show after this. It goes from hamsters to stripping. It's gonna be a weird night. It's April 29th. What can I say? All right, so without further ado, I'm going to welcome our first comic up, and also beloved owner of a former living rodent, and that is Jimmy Minis. Woo!
Hey everybody, how's it going? So yes, I used to have pet rodents. Look at my fucking skinny rat face. Can you not fucking tell that I used to have pet rodents? I too used to raise rats because when I was 12 years old, they were only my only fucking friends, actually. Because I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I wasn't exactly setting a fucking world on fire before puberty hit with this fucking actually growing up was hard because I'm 5'10" now. When I was 11 years old, I was 5'10". So you know what I mean? So I was a fucking weird 5'10" baseball kid that fucking raised rats and smelled like fucking I don't know, whatever. But I had hooded rats is what my deal was, and I too used to selectively breed them so that I would have leopard printed hooded rats and stuff like that. And I had this one that was all completely white, and it was the first rat that I actually really got, and we named her Snowy. Which I don't know why I named her Snowy, except that she was white, because I was apparently I knew I was going to grow up and be a comedy writer. I don't know. But I taught this rat how to rob. It started out simple. What I would do is I would wait until my dad would come home from work and he'd throw his wallet down. There'd be a couple bucks hanging out of it, and I'd let the rat loose in the room, and it would go right to the wallet and take the dollar bills out of the wallet. I taught it how to do it by teaching it and training it how to steal dollar bills, and then it would take it and run it all the way up, and I built a little staircase out of a Jenga set that went up the wall to the cage where it would hide and it would make a nest with these dollar bills. And so it was time to pay rent one time, and my mom had this is 1989. Rent was like $900 then. But the house that we were living in at the time, the rent was like $900. And essentially what had happened is his rat went and stole fucking 9 $100 bills and fucking ate and shredded and shit all over them in the fucking nest because she had it overnight. And then my dad had to go to the bank with all these like rat infested fucking hundreds and ask them if they would exchange them, which they fucking actually did. But the thing was is then after that my dad told me I had to like probably get rid of the rat. But I didn't have to because the next day it ran under the stove and got cooked under the stove. And we had to move the stove and I had to like hook it out and pull it out. And it was all like this and it was all fucking burnt on its back and stuff. It was pretty traumatic. And do you guys believe in reincarnation? One person. That's probably not enough to make this successful. But anyways, I have this cat now that I just rescued. One of my aunts found this cat running around the street. She was like, I can't keep this cat. Can you come get it? And it's a white cat, and it won't shut the fuck up. It's deaf, as most white cats are, apparently. I did not know. But it's loud. It just goes, rah, rah, rah. And my mom, to be funny, thought, you should name it Snowy, like your old rat. And this thing won't shut the fuck up, right? So I'm like, yeah, whatever, reincarnation, right? Whatever, cool, right? I come home one day, this fucking cat got into fucking where I keep my money in my room and fucking ate and shredded and pissed all over it. And that's my story about my dead rat. So, yeah, that's my story about my dead rat. So, anyways, I guess I have time to tell you about myself a little bit. I come from a place called Modesto. You ever heard of it? Woo! One person's on meth. Fantastic. Everywhere I go, people are like, because that's all Modesto's known for. Everybody's like, ooh, you know, Modesto's where meth is invented, Jimmy. Modesto. It was invented there. Right? And I want to just say, historically, factually, no, meth was not invented in Modesto. It was invented in Nazi Germany by the Nazis in the 30s. It's a super soldier serum. Although I've never met a tweaker that was super, so I can like make with it what you will. But I will go on the record and say that meth was actually perfected by the Nazis in Modesto. No, it grows naturally there in bathtubs. Like, do you know how on the East Coast they have like old money, new money, and like the people with the old money look down on the people with the new money? We have old tweakers that look down on new tweakers in Modesto. Like, there's like 4th and 5th generation tweakers there. I know people whose grandmas are named Crystal. Okay. And it's like, it's literally fucking ridiculous because these tweakers are like, have you ever seen a tweaker hold an intervention for another tweaker in a meth lab? I've actually seen this shit. These tweakers get all Dr. Phil on each other. They're like, you know, Junior, you're fucking up right now. What you need to do is you need to stop cooking meth, go home, marry that woman, and raise your fucking kids with her. You got to be more like Grandma. Grandma just smokes a teener a day. You're way off the fucking hook here, fucking robbing fucking people and stealing stuff and doing all the wrong things. You need to go and get your life together. You know what you need to do? You need to cut back on your meth use to a teener a day. Just enough to get you through. Yeah, that's how meth works in Modesto, actually. Yeah, Modesto's a great place. We had a taco fest today. Yeah, a taco fest. You know what that involved? That meant all the taco trucks I love to eat at and enjoy every single day parked behind a fence that cost me $15 to get through the fucking fence to buy fucking tacos that are normally $2 that are now $5. Thanks, white people. Oh, man. I don't hate white people. Everybody thinks I fucking hate white people, and I don't understand why. But I will go on the record right now and say that I was just doing a show in Napa recently, and I did actually hear somebody say some of the most racist shit I've ever heard somebody ever fucking say. But the weird thing is the context of the conversation that we were having, it wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, because context means a lot, and, like, where, like, a person's coming from, like, whether or not it's a place of hatred or whatever, but it's still fucking racist. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we're wine tasting, and this lady had a glass of Chardonnay. She was, like, swirling around, and she was like, you know, John, I don't know. I just like my oaky, or my whites a little bit less oaky. All right, that's how I was gonna end, but instead I'm gonna end on the fucking my Madden dive on 4th down so I can get a first down every time. So this like, can you see this shit? I fucking had surgery on my arm. I don't have a radius bone anymore. It's just a titanium rod, And they're wheeling me to have surgery, right? And the anesthesiologist told me, hey, they told me that you're a stand-up comedian. Can you tell us a joke right now before we do the surgery? And I was like, well, doc, to be honest with you, you asking me to tell y'all a joke right now is a lot like me asking y'all to do the surgery for free. And he looked at my chart and said, you're on Medi-Cal. Tell us a fucking joke. Thanks a lot, man. It's Jimmy. Have a good night.
I wrote thank you cards. I'm so appreciative. Oh, man. I will say one thing about white people. While Jimmy was talking about the rats, I was like, shit, this guy is breeding designer rats. I can get a leopard print rat that collects dollar bills. I'm about to solve my life. I'm going to get a couple of those babies. Got rent solved. Take them out to the club. They'll bring dates back. They'll be like, this area is good. I found you a cute guy. They'll be my little like matchmakers. So R.I.P. That was a fine rat. Man, that rat sounds like it collected more money than I do because I have a hard time coming up with 900. 9 years. 9 years. That is nice. And what was its name? It better have a name. What? Oh, yeah, Snowy. May you enjoy many walls and cheese. Yeah, whatever your favorite snacks were. I hope you're enjoying them in rat heaven. Rodent heaven. We have another comic coming up. More fine stories of finer rodents. Jordan Kirchner.
Hello. Thought I was going last, but I'm second. How's it going, people? I want to tell a story kind of about like rat perseverance turning into a rat genocide. One day I was in the bathroom. I was taking a mean Doogie Howser. I don't know if you guys do that in there. I was taking a poop, for those of you who don't understand. No, I was in there, and out of nowhere I hear my roommates outside the door screaming bloody murder. I live with a married couple. My first thought was like, wow, Juan's finally hitting her. That's crazy. You know, I went out there, and I'm like, what's the ruckus? You know, still poop in my butt, didn't wipe, nothing. Find out what she did. She opened up the washer, and inside that washer, freshly cleaned clothes, on top of it was a mouse. So cute, just scratching its nose. It was adorable. And she said, murder it, kill it, get it out of here. And me and Juan, immediately we looked down at that mouse, and we were greeted with our masculinity, because immediately both of us looked at each other. We're like, I'm not touching that. I don't know how we're going to get this out of there. So our genius idea, we thought, like, you know what we'll do? Is we're just going to turn the washer on and let it go for another cycle. See if we could drown it out of there. So we turn on the washer, and we just kind of stand over it, washing it, just kind of waving at it. And we see it just slowly spinning around, and it's getting wet. Just because, you know, in our washer, there's just like a waterfall, like a beautiful waterfall in the back. It's just getting drenched as it goes around. And finally, we just felt bad. And we're like, we can't do this. We can't drown a mouse. So we turn off the washer. You know, it takes like 5 seconds to unlock. It was a very, like, we're like, it's drown, like, open, unlock it. Finally, it unlocks. And again, it looks up at us, and it's just wiping its little face off. And we're like, well, we still need to get it the fuck out of here, and I'm not touching it. I'm telling you that. So me and him, we went to the kitchen. What we did is we both grabbed oven mitts. Thank God we had 4. One for each of our hands. And even with that, we're like, I'm still not, like, what if it crawls up the oven mitt? You know, I'm not masculine when it comes to rodents, you know, things that are smaller than me. And so we ended up emptying out a brand new oatmeal box. We just poured it into like a Ziploc bag, all the oatmeal in there. And what we did is we got duct tape. We turned that duct tape into a rope. We attached it to that oatmeal box, and we lowered it in. We lowered it in to where that mouse, it was looking at, it was like hesitant. It was like you guys just tried drowning me like 5 seconds ago. I don't know if I trust this oatmeal box. What's in there? Cyanide? Like, I have no idea. And so finally it ended up trusting us. All right. It climbed in the box. I lifted it up like very like I was just like really trying to get as far away as possible from it. And then we covered it as soon as we got out. And what we did is we're like, well, what are we going to do now? We can't just release it in the backyard. It's still at the house. And we thought like, oh, there's that asshole down the street. I think his name's Jerry. We walked down to Jerry's house. And he has this large just dirt patch of, you know, where his grass is supposed to be. And so we're like, this is a good spot for a mouse, right? And what we did is we just lowered it and emptied it out. The rat or mouse, whatever it is, it falls out, runs into the patch of dirt. It kind of looks around. We started walking away thinking like, that's the end of that, right? No shit. We saw the mouse booking it right back into our house. We get there. We tell his wife, the one that was having a panic attack. We tell her about it, and she says, well, you guys need to call an exterminator. I'm like, okay, well, obviously, we'll call the exterminator. We ended up calling one. About 3 days later, he comes in. He sets up glue traps all over our house, everywhere. And we thought, like, okay, it's just that one mouse. There can't be more than one, right? No, in the first night of having, 10, 15 different glue traps set out, we caught, I'm telling you this, 22 live mice in our house. This is where that genocide comes in. It became a nightmare. And the thing is, like, that we called the exterminators, like, hey, dude, we got like 22 mice here. You need to come pick them up. He's like, oh, we'll be there on Monday. It was a Friday. Like, what do you do with 22 live and closely to death mice just stuck to glue? We didn't know, so we put them in the backyard, and it was a hot July. Let's just say that. So those mice, like I said, it was a story of perseverance turned into genocide. All of them died of that. It was funny. I think I got more mouse, rat, hamster material. What's that? I could do other material. I saw a beaver on the side of the road the other day. I was like, damn. Stupid. I actually, a long time, this is an actual hamster story I have here. Long time ago, it's gonna sound sad in the beginning. It was like 2009, long time ago. I was at my uncle's funeral. All right, and my mom's side of the family, we have a lot of people. Let's just say they're not all there in the head, particularly. One of them, she was at the time about 36, husband 78. I don't know, old man, Monopoly-looking guy. At the funeral, out of nowhere, they go outside. Out of nowhere, we hear screaming, just bloody murder outside the funeral. We don't know what's going on. We go out there. They had a pet hamster that they brought with them from all the way from Las Vegas is where they lived. And the funeral was in Antioch. They brought it all the way with them. And again, this was another hot July, and they left it in the car. And they cooked their hamster to death in front of a funeral where also someone was, cremated. So it made sense. Let me think. How much time did that light give me? Was that like 1 minute, get off? 2 minutes? This is a quick story. I don't know if there's actually a punchline. I'm just fucking winging it up here. In high school, I have a stepmom, stepsister. When I lived with them, my friends used to come over a lot. One of my friends came over, and I made him a sandwich, and I put lettuce on it. Come to find out that that lettuce belonged to my stepsister's hamster. And I don't know if you know how the dynamic works with a stepmom. You're not the favored one. I got grounded for a month for eating the lettuce designated for my stepsister's hamster. So I want to end off this set by saying, my stepsister's a bitch. You guys have a great night.
I thought the hamster was going to come and cut someone's throat in the middle of the night. They get awful picky about their lettuce. So we actually have some recordings coming in. So we'll have them on the big screen up here, which is super dope. This is like Saturday Night Live and stab comedy.
The one I have is just audio. So
it's an audio. So we're going to look at the screen and we're going to use our imaginations because this is the place for it. Oh my God. If you guys were willing... If anyone wants to mime along to this audio recording, it would be appreciated.
All right, yeah.
So this is the story of Harry the hamster. When I was a child.
Very low. Hold on.
So this is the story of Harry the hamster. When I was a child, I had a hamster that I loved very much, but she ended up dying from natural causes. I had her for many years, and then after her death, I decided that I wanted another one. And it didn't take me that long to get him. And I gave him the name Harry. He was really, really nice and tiny. And he had white fur and a long tail. And one day I was having lunch with family, and he would be inside his cage, and I would like bring him with me everywhere. So we were having lunch at the back of my house, which is open. And it was like summer, probably, because it was really, really hot that day. And he stayed with us there. But after lunch, I kind of forgot him. Like, I went back into my house and he stayed there in the heat. And that was the problem. He didn't stay for long, but you know, he's a tiny little guy. So when I remembered, I ran back to get him. And he was clearly like overheating. And I panicked. I gave him water and everything, but he was like suffering from overheating. And at that time, my mom was sleeping in her room with the air conditioning on. And my ridiculous child brain thought it would be wise to switch him from being in the heat for some time to like going straight into air conditioning, you know. And he probably like had I don't even know what happened, but he must have that like shock from the heat and then being cold, and then he died. I went back into her room like a couple of hours later to get him, and he was absolutely dead. Absolutely dead. It was really sad. He wasn't with me for long, maybe like a couple of weeks. So it was tragic.
This is a funeral. It's not always for laughs. It did make me think though. There have been a lot of things I have loved that I have poked with a stick through tears and love. Like I once loved you. Are you still there? No. Also made me think of my dad and brother. It can sometimes be hard having a dad when you're a son. There's a lot of expectations to live up to. My dad was always worried my brother was too afraid because he spends too much time with his mom and his sister just because we're cool. My dad was proved wrong one day. When my dad found my cat with a mostly dead rat, my dad didn't want the rat to suffer. So he decided he would hit it with a shovel. Anyone else have a better method for putting something out of their suffering? Nope. No. So he was worried for my brother. He was like, all right, little buddy, look away. Don't watch this trauma. My brother looked at my dad dead in the eye and said, Dad, it's just a rat. And my dad knew my brother was going to grow to be a man. Now, whenever the rat comes in, I just yell for one of them because I still live with both of them. All right. We're going to keep the night moving along. Some of our comedians, they will do stories with hamsters, but if you feel free to do other material if you would like. I have what I believe is 30 minutes of jokes. Sometimes people find them funny, sometimes people don't. I always find them funny. That's why I call them jokes. We're going to have our next comic come back up, and she has a chock full of pocket of jokes, and that is Amber Ellis, one of the biggest gifts to Sacramento since the beam.
Thank you, Amy. Give it up for Amy. And the sexiest story I've ever heard. I swear, I really want whoever that was to just tell my eulogy. I couldn't tell, like, if it was, like, really sad. I just got really horny about a hamster. But speaking of hamsters, I'm just going to throw this out there. I grew up in a very Hispanic family, so you don't fuck around with bringing rodents in the house. It does not happen. You bring a rodent into my Nana's house, and that little fucker gets thrown into the mole. I promise. And that shit's been cooking for 25 years. It's mostly made of hamsters. So yeah, no, it was never a thing. Like being you walk in like, oh, I got this pet. Nope, like it was crushed. Get the fuck out. Like you want to go play something. You want a hamster? Go play with a chihuahua. That's as close as a hamster as you're gonna get in my family. But as I got older, I got my own place and was like, you know what? I want a fucking hamster, and I just want to see what it's like. And I thought it was relatively easy, low maintenance animal to have. It would listen to me cry in my sleep every night, and it couldn't go anywhere because it's in a cage and all. And so I get this hamster, and I love this little fucker, dude. I went as far as to get its little castle with the tubes and like special hamster food. Like I was just like, this is my buddy. I'm gonna do everything that I possibly can for this amazing little hamster. And have you ever loved something so much and you do everything that you possibly can for this tiny thing? And you just love it, you care for it, you buy it things, and then you come home and it killed itself. I didn't even know my hamster knew how to tie a noose, but no, I'm just kidding. He ate his own legs. I did not know that they did that. He was so sick of my shit. He just started from the bottom and ate his own fucking half of his body off. And I got back and was like, you too, huh? But I honestly think it was because, I was a nice hamster owner, but I wasn't a very responsible hamster owner. I used to play this really funny game with my hamster and my friends, and it was called Let's Get Really Drunk and Stick Our Pinkies in the Cage and See How Long We Can Let the Hamster Bite Us. And he hated it. And so we would just stick the foot and be like, fuck. All right, one more time. And so, of course, yeah, he ended up probably getting a thirst for blood, and that's why he ate his own feet off. Or he just got really inspired by Logan Farr. I don't know. But, ooh, I wish he was here. No. But besides that's all I got for hamsters. Like I said, I didn't really fuck around with rodents. But I did have a pet ferret growing up. And that shit was tight. We smuggled it over here from New Mexico. And it was so fucking cool having a little ferret running around my house. Her name was Xena. It was my grandma's. We brought it over from Albuquerque. She even went as far as to get their little shit gland removed. So, like, it didn't, like, shit on you or do whatever the fuck ferrets do. But I'm not even lying. We walked that fucking thing with a harness, like, down the streets of Gilroy. So, yeah. And I just walked around with this badass little ferret. And then, you know what? Yeah, so one time I'm walking this ferret. Our ferrets go missing. You find out we're not the only people in the neighborhood with like a weird animal. It turns out my neighbor had a fucking bobcat living in her garage. And so we apparently the bobcat got out, ate our fucking ferret. It was a whole ass thing. But then I found out that there's a lady with a fucking bobcat in her garage. And I would go over there and like she'd let us pet it and shit. And she was this crazy ass lady. And she'd give us candy and, like, let us play with her bobcat. And I remember one time I was petting it, and it straight bit me in the face. And I was like, I don't even care, dude. Like, this thing's dope. So that's all I really have for pets. Hamsters, rodents, they don't seem to be around me. Rats, ferrets, cats, dogs. I'm a raccoon, so fuck it. All right, I'm getting out of here before, who knows what happens. All right, here you go. You never know.
It is the season for raccoons. Oh, shit. Wander around night enough in old Sacramento, you'll run into them. They're cheapy. They make cheaps. They front. You get a little bit worried with them. So we have one more comic story for rodents, maybe some other material, and then I have some jokes too. Also, if you like the stuff you see here, it gets weirder. It gets wilder. Watch Stab Comedy. You go watch it anywhere it does. It gets sexier. This is a awesome spot. This is literally, I would say, one of the most underappreciated places in Sacramento. White Claws here. You're not going to find them more affordable anywhere else. For sure. It is a magical place. Basically, I call this a Neverland for all of us that we were into theater in school, and we weren't ready to grow up. So we were allowed to think outside of the box here. We stabbed our way out of the box. And it is a beautiful thing. There is like 100 shows. Check out their website. Check out their Twitch. It is, I couldn't come back again, come see all their stuff every day. They have amazing things. Almost as amazing as our next comic coming up. Let's give it up for Jess Harding.
Hello. I dress like a Newport mom whose baby died, but she aborted it. That's what my outfit is. Inspired by tonight. She told me to dress like I was going to a funeral, and I'm like, best I can do is hamster hoedown, so. This is what I got. It's actually the same outfit I wore to my grandma's funeral. Yeah. Do you want me to do more than 7 minutes, Amy? Do we need to fill time? Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my hamster stuff, and then we'll see where we're at. 'Cause what I'm realizing is that, like, you all have had really crazy hamster stories. I'm very tame. Like, you guys have hamsters eating their own legs. I'm, like, jealous because my hamster was, like, not that punk rock. He was just not. But I did have a hamster growing up. I named her Jitterbug. I decided that she was a girl. I never looked at her genitals. I'm not sure if you can find them. There's children in the crowd. Oh, my God. Fuck. You're wearing elf ears, so you have to forgive me for putting you in the children category. Okay? Please forgive me for that. Is this a family affair right now? Did you just come here to hear about dead hamsters? Do you have a hamster that just died? Is this like cathartic for you? I don't want to know. Anyways. You have an alive one? No! 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 I wish this was like The Office where the camera could like zoom in on like the little creepy girl with the elf ears and the fucking rat. Oh my God. Are you guys from my hometown? Like rural New York. Are you from like Children of the Corn? Like, why do you have that? Who's your idol? Marilyn Manson? Fuck. No. No, absolutely not. Also, you're banned from this place. You're never allowed back. I don't want you near me. Wait, you were holding out this whole time? You had that in your bag? I hope you brought earplugs for the little guy. He's just listening to these gory rodent stories. Traumatizing. Well, Jesus. I don't even feel like I can like say anything after that. What do I do? Oh my God. Do you have a hamster impression? Do you have a rat impression? Okay, well. Oh. So you have a capitalist rat. Okay. All right, well, I don't know. You guys are too much. Yeah, that's Joe Biden. That's not Joe Biden, but I don't know. Thinking about him looking like a rat. I don't know. Okay. So I did have a hamster. His name was Jitterbug, or her name. I'm not sure. Like I said, gender neutral hamsters, I guess. And when I got her, I brought her home. And my dad, like I said, we're from upstate New York, rural New York, so we didn't have money or like dignity. So my dad like found like a cage that was probably for like a bird, at a garage sale, and that's what my hamster lived in. And I had a shelving unit in my bedroom that we got from a free, like, Toys R Us that was out of business. If you can't tell by my outfit, I was raised by a bunch of trashy people. So that's where the hamster cage stayed, was like in this like old Toys R Us like wired shelf. And I had a hermit crab also, and the hermit crab ran away. And then the next day, the hamster got out, and what we figured out is there's like this void where like creepy animals go to and just like starve to death and die. Yeah, a gravitational. There's like a little tiny animal cemetery in our home, but I'm pretty sure because we sold the house I grew up in to another family, and I'm pretty sure that they're being haunted by the hermit crab and the hamster. I wish I had a more exciting hamster story for you, but I do want to honor Jitterbug's life by telling you some of Jitterbug's favorites. So here's some things that Jitterbug loved: sunflower seeds, corn, hot Cheetos, a cigarette after sex, sunsets, and the TV volume left on even numbers only. Those are some of her favorites. I also want to give a nod to all the other things I've killed. So Jitterbug, the Webkins I had, my Club Penguin, my Tamagotchi, and a child. No, I'm just kidding. And little Timmy, hit by a car. All right. Well, how much time is that? Because that's all the hamster shit I got. Well, yes, I will. But I'm wondering where I'm at. Oh my God, I did 7 minutes of hamster material? Thank you for putting the team on your back for taking at least a minute of that from me, because that was going to be a challenge. Okay, so my hamster impression. Do you want it to be like creepy ASMR like that video? I do have like a pretty rat face. Honestly, I'm convinced that like everybody is either a rat or a bird. That's it. There's no other in between. Every human is either a rat or a bird, or a rodent and a bird, I mean. I think sometimes I'm a bird, sometimes I'm a rodent. I don't know. I'm both. You're definitely a rodent. And this family's all rodents. Frightening ones. Yeah, horses? No. You're a bird. So I can tell you that I've trying to ride my bike everywhere. I rode my bike here. Yes, thank you for the applause for me. Fitness. I've been trying to be like a bike person. I'm on my third bike because Sacramento's a ratchet. I keep getting them stolen. But every time I get on my bike, I just like black out and wake up at Trader Joe's. And it's because I bought a used bike, and so I think the bike seat is like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter, where it's like, oh, okay, bony ass, white girl named Jessica, and that just brings me to Trader Joe's every time. It's actually kind of frustrating. I have enough fucking curry flavored ice cream to last a lifetime. I don't know what they sell at Trader Joe's. Sesame sticks, curry ice cream, condoms that taste like meatloaf. I don't know. That's their thing. But I've been noticing all the weird things that people do on their bikes. Or not on their bikes. People do to bikers. So like people put their trash cans in the bike lane. So now I just like kick them over. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. The garbage that goes all over the ground doesn't matter because I'm single-handedly solving global warming by riding my bike. So the pollution doesn't count. Just negates it. But there's two type of bikers in Sacramento. There's the people that think they're saving the planet, and then there's the people who just stole a bike. That's it. There's no in between. So I started doing comedy and therapy at the same time. Coincidence, maybe. What I've realized is that comedy is very similar in the fact that you're also forced to listen to me. but it's way cheaper. So I'm gonna trauma dump here and save the $80. So through my journey with comedy and therapy, I realized the root cause of my anxiety. Anyone grow up with a VCR? Yeah, I've had to play a fun game with the VCR. Every time I press play, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get a Disney movie or porn. I really wanted to not say that part with the kids, but I decided to anyways. So you watched porn too early too? I feel like you're still in that phase. What? You're not making this any better for you. You're just making this worse. I might call CPS. I don't know. I'm a mandated reporter. I'm actually a social worker, so we're going to have a talk later. Fuck. Do you guys turn into little, like, rodent humans at midnight? I want to know what the inside of your house looks like. Okay, anyways, Disney or porn, every time I press play, I wasn't sure if I was going to see, like, Aristocats or Fistacat. I don't know. We're getting fucking 101 Dalmatians or 101 Dominatrix. Beauty and the Beast or Beauty and the Beast. But the kids would be talking about Disney movies, and I would be like, oh, yes, I know this one. My favorite part of Lion King is when Simba finishes on Nala's face. Okay, bye, everyone.
Thank you guys for being here. You really did make my night. I'm like, dang, the rap formations are paying off. Because I've been doing those rap formations. Because the best affirmations come from rap songs. The one I really use is it's called Ball If I Want To. It's by an artist called The Baby. He goes, bitch, it ain't even my birthday, but I can ball if I want to ball. That's what I'm doing up here, straight balling. Jess is balling even more. Let's give it up to her. And all the comics we've seen this evening. Oh my gosh. Nice job. Give it up for Stab. And give it up for the Fine family in the back. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for coming out. You guys could not be truly the ballingest of the night. Thank you. I don't know if you want to stay for the strip comedy. I'll tell you, it is wild every time. You never know what everyone's going to layer with. But I'll tell you, no one's going to get naked. They're going to have like costume after costume. I've seen one person have 9 jerseys on. I was like, what team? What, like every sport? Oh, man. So I just want to be cool. But I'm too white to be cool. I'm so white to do shows about hamsters. I'm so white. When I use voice text, my phone spells rapper with a W. Because I ate a lot of snacks. Salty snacks, sweet snacks, all those wrappers, I pull them off. Not healthy snacks, though. Healthy snacks tend not to come in wrappers. Nothing ruins a snack like healthy. I don't like to eat snack on stuff like carrot sticks or protein bars. No, that doesn't taste like a snack. It tastes like desperate sustenance. Hamsters like them, but that's because hamsters are good creatures. Hamsters are good and loving creatures. I'm not. I don't like to mess with healthy. I don't think it tastes like having fun at a movies. I think it tastes like foraging in the forest. I don't think it tastes like enjoying a road trip. I think it tastes like having to pitch a tent. Ew, that's too intense. Thank you. Oh, man. So, I don't like to eat unsalted almonds. I think those are the saddest snack in the world, an unsalted nut. But I still have realized you can share them. So they're not the loneliest snack. The loneliest snack in the world, not even yogurts will fuck with. I mean, not even hamsters will fuck with because it's yogurt. You can't share yogurt. Yep, you don't know loneliness till you've eaten yogurt alone on bed. I appreciate you all because the love here tonight is going to make that yogurt go down a lot smoother. We have 10 minutes for our next show or so. There is refreshments, and they are very affordable. There's a bathroom as well, which is even more important. It is a really clean bathroom. So eat, drink. If you have to head back. Otherwise, if you stay for about 9 more minutes, we're going to get another comedy show starting, NC-17. We'll see how many layers they put on. It's 8 o'clock, right? It's at 8.
It is at 9. So you can wait for 69 minutes. Oh, perfect. 69 minutes. But no, the next show's at 9. We've got a 7 and a 9 tonight. I know it's it's confusing. Yeah. So 7 and 9. We are done with How My Hamster Died. I apologize for all of the grief, and your therapy bills are your own. But yes, we are done with How Your Hamster Died. But we do have strip comedy coming up at 9. Not NC-17. We can't do that. So not with our license. So come back at 9, and we will be here for some strip comedy. But in the meantime, get some dinner. Fill up on salty snacks. And we'll see you back here at 9.